भगवान श्री योगी राम सूरत कुमार की जय। योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, जय गुरु राया। योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, जय गुरु राया। योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, जय गुरु राया। योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, जय गुरु राया। योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, जय गुरु राया। योगी Suratkumar, Yogi Ram Suratkumar, Yogi Ram Suratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ram Suratkumar, Yogi Ram Suratkumar, Yogi Ram Suratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Guru Raya. Rama 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 भगवान श्री योगी राम सूरतकुमार की जय। सर्वं योगी राम सूरतकुमारार्पणमस्तु। It's a profusion of blessings that we have all been able to gather here and sing his powerful Nama, auspicious Nama. A Sankirtan in his powerful shine. We know it is no small grace, and in celebration of this grace, with deep gratitude, we have offered the Nama lotuses at the lotus feet of Bhagavan. Every day, 2 times, we have a dip in the Nama Ganga, purifying our body and the mind. How can we ever sufficiently thank our Bhagavan for all that he has given us? At the very call out of the name, we get help, guidance and protection. What more can we ask for? We have to remember again and again. He's saying that remembrance of God is life. And when you forget God, you are dead. He also used to say, remembering God is dharma, forgetting God is adharma. When somebody came and asked him what was right and what was wrong, he said, remembering God is right, forgetting God is all wrong. So, who could say it more strongly than this? All that we have to do, you just remember his name and be an instrument in his hands. Even if we have this feeling that I am doing everything, we shall remember now and then that it is he who is activating us into remembering. Now again and again, we have to recall the episode when, after a whole night of struggle in chanting the name, keeping awake and chanting the name, when I reported early in the morning in such jubilation that I had completed 20,000 namas the whole night, expecting a pat on the back. He only frowned and gestured as though it was no use chanting the whole night. You can imagine the shock I went through. And then he said, "You said that you were doing it. Can you do it? Can you do anything? It's my Father who made you do it." It was a slap on my face. I understood never to forget that whatever we do, whatever we say, and whatever we think, of course, which is the basic of all this, is because we are made to do it by the Divine. So we should never forget that we are mere instruments and God is handling us from moment to moment to moment, doing the very best for us. So whatever life brings to us every moment is the best that can happen to us because it's coming from the source. So if we let go and go with the flow of life, there will be freedom from depression, from fear, from anger, from all those negative emotions. Already, life is being run, everybody's life is being run by the Divine with all the details of life. And the way it goes is the best, as He is arranging it according to our karma. And in so doing, we get completely transformed if we let Him do it. But then, if you begin to think that I am doing, I have to think and do it, yes, that's good enough. You have to think and do it, and you have to do it hard. You have to work hard. But after that, you should realize that you could not have done anything by yourself because the very breathing that you do is not in your hands. You did not put it there. You did not make your body. And so the one who put the breath in the body, and because of this breath, the very thinking happens, and the talking and the doing. So by a simple logic, we will understand that it is the Supreme inside us that is making us do everything. Our very thinking, our very words and actions come from the life in the body, and the life of this life is the Supreme Being. And to us it is Yogi Ramsuratkumar, because the Supreme Brahman comes down in the form of the Guru to teach us the truths of life. I say plural truths because the ultimate truth is one, but the relative truths are many. When we live in the relative world, there are lofty truths that we have to follow, understand and follow. So let us always remember that the Guru is right inside us, and it is He who is making us think, talk and do things. We owe it to Him to thank Him for everything that He does. Even the mistakes that we commit in life, we are made to do. If we understand the fundamental fact of life, even the mistakes that we commit come from the source through us. If we realize that, we would not regret anything. nor would we jump in joy when things go positively. They too come from the source. So the question is whether to identify ourselves with the ego self, its limited self, or with the Supreme. Our Bhagwan has taught us to remember God by remembering the name. Those of us who do not understand the fundamental facts of life have still this gift of grace from our Bhagwan, the Nama given by him. And what happens? That Supreme Brahman inside us, which is only a witness consciousness, it simply witnesses. It doesn't participate in our life except the action of sustaining our breath. But the minute you call out the name, the very witness consciousness takes the form of that name. When we call out Yogi Ramsuratkumar, the witness becomes Yogi Ramsuratkumar instantly, and he is present instantly. And he is watching our every thought, word and action, and he is doing the needful because we have called out to him. Bhagavan often said, when you chant the name, you don't have to pray separately. Because the Nama is not an inert name like yours and mine. It is the divine name. It's fully conscious. It is the ultimate consciousness. That supreme consciousness is all-knowing. So Nama is all-knowing, all-powerful, and all-pervasive. And Nama will begin to run your life to give you whatever you need. It may not cater to what you want, but it will definitely give you what you need. So let's always remember, even chanting the name, even the most natural urges of the body, they come from the source. Often, when Bhagavan forgot to say something, he would say, Devaki, Father is not allowing this beggar to remember. Whereas we would say, oh, I forgot, I clean forgot. So you see, one again and again, by his very living example, he taught us that everything that we think or speak or do comes from the source. And the source is Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Guru Bhagavan for all of us. So let's remember that whatever we do because we are made to do by the Divine. We shall now offer our today's prayer at the lotus feet of Bhagavan. Bhagavan, we pray to you again and again and again, a million times, for your immediate divine intervention to bring forth a dharmic normalcy to the world of today. In today's world, there is so much violence, so much disharmony, and lack of order and discipline. People live any way they like, creating a philosophy to suit themselves, to justify what they are doing. And there is already the war between the two countries, going fiercely as ever. And we see those devastating consequences. We can be sure they also have a reason for it, which they justify. And again, the attacks of the cruel diseases, the killer diseases, the furies of nature, and those terrible accidents and whatnot. Bhagavan, we beg you again and again and again to stop this war that's going on, and bring forth peace and harmony. There should be no mention of the word war at all among the countries of the world, by your grace. And please bring in unity, harmony, order and discipline into the lives of people, so that people will live a dharmic life with remembrance of God. And we also beg you to keep under your control those killer diseases, the furies, the violent furies of nature, and those terrible accidents. We beg you again to uproot all those asuric thoughts, those negativities of the mind, which are responsible for today's world of violence. And Bhagwan, we beg you again to reach out to all those people in the whole world, to whichever country they belong to, whichever languages speak, and whichever religion they have embraced. They too suffer from their past karmas, even though they may not have faith in reincarnation, rebirth, and past karmas. But then the truth is truth, and they're also affected by their past karmas, and they suffer without help or protection. We beg you to reach out to them. We also beg you to protect all those unselfish people who have been slogging hard for the welfare of the others from unnecessary, unworthy, unhealthy criticisms and aspersion. We beg you again to give a big boost to the economy of the country, which you have been doing, and promote the growth in varied fields of activity, from science and technology to spirituality, so that India would reach that high status of the world teacher to run the whole world in the path of Dharma. We also pray to you in all earnestness, intensity and sincerity for joyful and ceaseless chanting of your powerful name, an unbroken remembrance of your leelas and teachings, so that we assimilate it and make it into our Atma Shakti. We know that you alone exist, and it's you who have become the whole cosmos and all the creatures in the cosmos. And so every creature is only an instrument in your hand. But then we beg you, Bhagavan, to bless us to be only sattvic instruments in your hands and not rakshasic instruments. Please bless us to run our everyday life as an offering to you and not be caught by the temptations of Maya. We also seek that ultimate state of being, the state of bliss and peace of yours. But then we know we need to be purified, because there is so much of those residual, karmic, latent tendencies of the mind, because of which there are attacks, sudden attacks of fear, anger, jealousy, passion, and grief, sorrow turning into depression and medicine. And the growing desires that turn into needs for worldly possessions. You have thundered often that the divine name is the most powerful weapon against our past karmas. It's also at once an atonement for all the sins that we have committed. We take refuge in your powerful Nama and seek your blessings for early purification. Wherever we live in this world and whatever work falls into our hand, we know it's all your work. Our own duty is your work, and we should do it joyfully in the spirit of service to you, and that without any unhealthy competition or jealousy, so that all that would also become Atma Shakti. Please bless us to practice acceptance Acceptance of what? Whatever life brings to us comes from God straight, be it a joy or grief. Coming from God, it can only be a great blessing, meant for our greater good and closer kinship with God. Every adversity, every punishment, every suffering that we get in life is the karmic effect of our past births, the bad karmas playing up. And we all know, everybody knows what happens then. All of a sudden, life changes dramatically. Whatever we say goes wrong, whatever we do misfires. And all that we held as security, money, power, people, fail us. And then we realize its only security is the security from God. So a higher wisdom is born of every adversity, and it pushes us towards God. So we have to learn to accept whatever happens in life as a great blessing from God, meant for our transformation. When the mind gets purified, we should be able to feel the living, vibrant presence of God everywhere and in everything. We should also know that it's only His sankalpa, His will, that's behind all the happenings of life and the world. And Bhagavan, we beg you again and again to bless us to be grateful to you, even for the adversities of life, even for the sufferings of life, because we know they are blessings in disguise. We also seek your powerful blessing for all the species of the cosmos to be lifted to a higher plane. And finally, we who have been seeking solutions for the endless problems of life, now seek dissolution of the root cause of the vicious cycle of repeated births and deaths. And what is that? The ahambhava, the utter selfishness, the tyranny of the ego, the I and mine that rule all our lives. Please uproot this ahambhava and promote atma bhavam in us, so that we be blessed with the immortal life, that eternal living in merger with you, or eternal servitude to you, that eternal supreme divinity. Jai Yogi Ramsuratkumar.